Hey, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, coinaholics of all ages. This is your boy Sean with BlueRidgeSilverhound, and today we got another edition of the PCMR, the Pocket Change Market Report. And this time this is for March 20th, 2021. So, how is the raw error and variety market shaping up? Things are still pretty good. Coins that traditionally have sold for maybe 25% of some of these final prices 12 months ago. It's crazy to kind of think how far we've been just in the last 12 months, and call it what it is. I mean, there's just a lot more demand and desirability. There's more eyes on the hobby, only because the entire collectibles market is following suit. All right, so coins, of course, one of like the top collectibles out there today. Not immune to this change, that's for sure. So for those of you that enjoy, hunting for some of these errors and varieties, congratulations. You are in a unbelievable market right now where if you did find some stuff, you could possibly monetize, make some money off of them, and then you could turn around, take that money, and do whatever you need to do with it. Add to your collection, sell off a bunch of cheaper coins to buy kind of like that marquee piece for your collection. I do it. A lot of people I know in the hobby do that as well. It's just a great way to fuel your funds, okay? Whether it's for the hobby, whether it's for life, whatever the case may be. So I figure might as well ride that train for as long as it could go. I don't see any huge kind of like crashes like people are predicting in the near term. I think collectibles in general has been undervalued for, a good deal of time. And now people are seeing the true potential of what collectibles can do. All right. And that's why we're seeing these huge price adjustments here in the last 6 to 8 months. And it's, if anything, it's very sustainable. All right. So we are going to take a look at the last 24 to 48 hours of eBay completed sales. These are all finished sales with realized actual bidding, pricing, buy it nows. There's no, oh yeah, this guy's asking, this for it. That doesn't count. That has to be a confirmed sale. Every single coin on the list is raw. We don't talk about graded. The big idea is that you find these things and you want to turn and burn them quickly. All right. There are just some coins that are not worth like the kind of money that's worth grading. Why spend the extra $20 to $30 on submission fees when you're going to come out at the end with a coin that's still worth the same than previous to the grading submission? So take that into consideration. Plus, there are some problem coins on the list that still have sold for a good chunk of money, and you have to realize that when that shows up, people don't traditionally like to grade problem coins, but in the right kind of like environment with either a variety or an error, people will still buy them, all right, and then pay a lot more than what the actual value suggests. All right, so let's go ahead and jump right into the first one here. We have just an innocent, good old 1993 Lincoln Memorial cent. I mean, at first glance, this looks like a coin that would be in your pocket change. I mean, no joke about it. 93, there's not a whole lot going on here with this date. There's a few minor double dies for the date that's attributed on like Copper Coin's website or Variety Vista or Double to Die. But really, to an eagle eye searcher, this person had found a nice little die crack, all right, that goes right here through the R in America and then into the top right corner of the Lincoln Memorial. All right, it's things like this that if you're able to recognize what it is and you find it, keep in mind, this coin has passed through many hands, but all you need is one eagle-eye searcher to find something like this. And you can make a few bucks in the process. This one right here sold for $7.80. And keep in mind, you guys can always go back into eBay, look at completed auctions, and kind of audit my work. So that way you know exactly what we're dealing with here. You know that I'm legit. These dollar figures are just not coming from the sky, so to speak. But yeah, almost $8 for this coin, which in hindsight is a really minor error. All right, and because of that, it is overlooked quite a bit. All right, so here's another one. This is another example of a very overlooked coin, 2002 Philadelphia Roosevelt dime. I mean, it's well loved. It's circulated. It's not mint state by all accounts. I would say it's like an AU55 at best. But if you look closely, this one also has a little die crack going through the D in dime. So it goes from the rim into the bottom of the torch on the reverse. Really cool error right here. Again, incredibly minor, but if I told you that this coin sold for $8.30, you would probably be shaking your head right now because, you know, how can a coin like this sell for that kind of money? Well, it's real easy. The pictures are decent enough, people find it interesting, and people do collect coins on the basis of die state, all right? So when a coin like this has, you know, little cracks and all that stuff, and it goes from the rim to a device or through a device, that's interesting to some collectors, and then people will pay the money to own that example. They won't pay, say, hundreds of dollars, but, you know, just think. If you went through a box of coin and you found a good maybe 20 coins with a die crack like this, times that by, let's say, you know, you net out $4 or $5 at the end. I mean, you know, that's a good amount of money. That's like $100 that you would be leaving on the table. And people are so hung up on just looking for silver and the low-hanging fruit stuff that they seem to forget this. All right, so make sure you look out for this because these are out there and they're quite common. All right, speaking of something that kind of, you know, slaps you in the face pretty good, we have a 1920 Lincoln wheat cent. This one has a really nice sized lamination on the obverse. The coin is dog meat, I'll be honest. It's a low grade, probably maybe a good, you know, it's not fancy, that's for sure. Even has a little bit of damage on the reverse here. It might be something on the coin or it might be a scrape. It's kind of hard to tell from these pictures. But I come across coins like this going through wheat cent bags all the time. And earlier in my days of searching through wheat cent bags, I would normally skip over stuff like this. Based off of the final sale price of this coin, I won't be doing that any longer. As a matter of fact, I've been holding on to coins like this for quite some time now. This one sold for $16.25. Yeah, the coin is old, 1920, but it's very common. When it's low grade, it's a 5-cent coin, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to go into a bulk wheat bag. And if people don't know what they're looking for, this will be a nice, easy find for someone else. All right, so machine doubling is neither an error or variety, but it's interesting to some people. All right, the 1969S Lincoln Memorial Cent date, above all else, is most interesting because of its ties to the FS101 double-to-die obverse. So people tend to look at these coins, and you know there are BU rolls of these, and there's tons of uncirculated 69Ss still in circulation today. But if you look closely, there's a lot of machine doubled coins that fool a good deal of people. However, what if I told you that people actually pay a few bucks for coins with machine doubling, especially the 69S, because of its ties to the big FS101? All right, you probably think I'm crazy, but I'm telling you, the writing is on the wall. The proof is in the pudding. Just take a look at this sale right here. This one right here has incredible machine doubling just on the word trust in the motto. This one sold for $24.50. Otherwise, it probably would have just gone back into circulation. 69S as a BU coin is real common, and they're worth probably no more than about a dime on a good day. But if you have the capability of taking close-up photos like this one, you're in good shape. You could make a few dollars. And here's the cool thing. This seller even stated in his listing, machine doubled coin. Like there's no smoke and mirrors. There's no, oh yeah, this is the one big double die. No, it's not the case here. This is a phenomenal example of being true to yourself, true to your clients, and just putting up good pictures. $24.50 is just an insane amount of money for this type of coin. All right, so this coin is relatively new, 2019 Philadelphia. So if you folks there on the East Coast, take a look at this coin. It does have minor clashing, and that is the main focal point of this coin, and that's what drove the sale of this coin ultimately. You can see some of the clashing here in front of Roosevelt's face. This olive leaf right here is especially strong, and then you could also see a little bit of clashing here on the reverse as well. Still, to this day, clashed coins, die clashing, is still very prominent, even with the newest technology that we have today. So this is bank, man. This is money in the bank right here. This coin sold for a cool $25. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. That's just pretty crazy when you could go and find a coin out of change and turn it around and essentially pay for a tank of gas. Well, not if you have a pickup truck, but maybe a Corolla or a Civic or something. $25 is a good deal of money for something that you had found that's 10 cents and brand new. Go figure. All right, so here's one that has been on the list of a lot of Susan B. Anthony collectors for quite a while. All right, so if you're a hunter of these type of coins, obviously there's so few things to look for in the Susan B. Anthony series. I mean, it's a short-lived series. First of all, it went from 79 to 81, and then that one-shot year of 99 to help tie in the new Sacagawea dollar. So there's not a whole lot to love, but in 1979, there is a really cool wide rim variant of the coin that is only available on the Philadelphia struck coins. The easiest way to tell is that this rim right here is really close to the date. And you could totally tell the difference between the wide date and the regular version, which is a pretty large gap, between those devices. This one right here, very circulated coin, sold for $14.99. I own a few of these in mint state condition, and they can go up to about $20 to $30 ungraded. Now here's a really nice find. It's the 1999, as you guys know, 98, 99, 2000. We have some pretty nice wide AM varieties that you need to be on the lookout for. 99, of course, is the more rarer of the three dates. This one right here has a really noticeable gap there. So this is the wide AM type of this coin. And the condition is quite nice. I mean, it's not bad. It's not like top of the line. You still have a few spots and stuff on there. But this one sold for $83.50. If you're able to find one and it's in decent shape, I mean, that's a good chunk of money, and I would certainly double check every 99 that you come across. All right, someone had asked me problem coins, Sean. What do you think of them? Like problem varieties and errors. I'm like, you know what? They still have a market. I think even more so today, strictly on the basis that people are buying up anything that they can. If it's reasonable and it has a very strong variety, then this is a good one. 1995 Lincoln Memorial Cent. This, of course, is the doubled die obverse that everybody looks for. It is one of the most plentiful doubled dies on the face of the earth. This is also referred to as the FS101. I mean, without getting too close. We do have close-ups that we'll look at here in a second. But check out the condition of the coin. This coin has been through a rough life. It's got a lot of staining, carbon spotting. It's not fancy. It's not gradable. It is a details coin. But who can argue with doubling like this? Very, very strong doubling on the word liberty. You also have it in God we, and then partially on trust. So the motto is going to be doubled quite nice. But this is a coin that probably 12 months ago, you would have a hard time selling for about $5 to $10. That's how common they are. This one sold for $35, where generally regular mint state problem-free coins sell for about $30 to $40. So, I mean, go figure, right? All right, so I'm a sucker for searching through older coins, you know, for cheap. You know, this 1869 Indian head cent is one of the dates that if you're able to search them and find a really nice repunch date, okay, specifically the Snow 1 variety, you are in good shape. Now, this coin probably you could purchase for about 20 bucks, you know, in a just regular dealer stock, you know, long box or whatever the case may be. Or maybe you could cherry pick one off of eBay. That is another way of finding these things. And these are overlooked. Don't get me wrong. People find this in a collection. They don't think about getting up close with a magnifier, which, by the way, if you're into errors and varieties, a good magnifier is a must. And they're cheap too. They're like 8 to 10 bucks. I have some available down below in my description box. If you need them, buy one. It's the cheapest tool you'll need, and it's indispensable. It's important. But anyways, this is the Snow 1 variety. So you could buy this for 20, 25 bucks. Turn around and flip it. And this individual sold this one for $205. As you can see, really nice repunch date. Keep in mind, back in the day, they used to punch the numbers independently into the master die, or the actual working die, rather, you know, before they are used. All right, so there's a couple even different other types of repunch dates to look for that look a little bit different, but this is the strongest one of them all. All right, so we have a really nice, incredibly wicked 2000 Denver Jefferson Nickel, or so it seems, but this one right here is a uniface. It's about 85% off-center struck, but you have a full date, and that's what's important to a lot of collectors. This one sold for $24.16. The condition is second to none, too. It's not bad. It's quite nice. All right, how about this 1980D Lincoln Memorial cent with a big old cut die break on the obverse. As you can see, it's covering the motto partially. It's just a phenomenal looking coin. And it's, you know, very seldom do you find cut die breaks on Denver minted coins. So this is a very important coin in itself because of that. But if you see a coin that has a big old blob on it, that's a, you know, right around the rim area, because that's what a cut entails, is the rim and into the design, then congratulations. You have found yourself something quite nice that you could either add to your collection, or you could go ahead and sell it and make a good deal of money. This one sold for $59.45. All right, so again, we've seen quite a bit of a desirability for rim clips. All right, so these are probably some of the more common errors to find out there and change today. What we have here is a 68 Lincoln cent with two clips. All right, you can see them up there in the motto area above Lincoln's head and behind his head. But this one, very clean, nice mint state condition coin, sold for a best offer of $18.50. That's not bad. Generally, the larger the clip, the more it's worth. Or if there's more clips above and beyond one single clip, they're worth even more than two. Okay, so I'm going to tell you this right now. If you're going to take photos for sales on eBay and you have it in a 2x2 flip, take it out. Cardboard 2x2 flips are a dime a dozen. All right, so the important lesson here to be learned is that you will have a lot more value taking your coin out of the flip and then replacing that flip later than to take the pictures in the flip, because you get all sorts of weird, funky reflections off of the plastic. All right, so a little pro tip for all you eBay sellers out there that aren't doing this practice. But we have a 1981 P Jefferson Nickel. As you can see, the obverse looks a little bit off center, and then the back of the coin is quite centered nicely. So what do they call this? It's a misaligned die, as its name suggests. One of the dies is misaligned. All right, so that way you get kind of like an off-center strike on one side of the coin, while the back or the obverse of the coin is completely centered. So in this case, the misaligned die is the hammer die. So that's the one that has a lot more moving action. That's the one die that's more subjected to wear and tear as far as the mechanism that you know moves up and down on this thing. But this one right here sold for $6. Otherwise, it would just gone back and change. So that's not bad. All right, new coin alert 2019 P Jefferson Nickel. I've actually talked about this coin before, but we're going to revisit it because we have another strong sale this last day or two. But on this one, there is a cool little die chip just to the left of Monticello or Monticello. All right, so the seller, and I've heard this before, referred this to as a beehive die chip. It's always cool to tie in a die chip or something like that to an item, or to something that it looks like. But this one is about as minor as it looks. Yes, that's right. Sold for $10. So $10. This used to be like a 50-cent coin back in the day, and I felt like that was way overpriced. But again, with new collectors coming into the marketplace, they are doing die chips, cracks, and cuds, and then doing all sorts of various progressions of them. So if someone needed, say, a progression of this size of chip that is in the same spot, they'll pay for it. They're not going to spend hundreds of dollars, but they'll, throw $10 at it like this one. All right, so we got another curved clip here, a little rim clip. This one's small, 1970 Lincoln cent. Coin's in decent shape. It's a nice red-brown example. It does have the carbon spot on the reverse. All that aside, this one did sell for a staggering $23.25. I don't know if this date specifically is a little bit tougher to find with rim clips, and that might be the reason why that it brought in the kind of money it did here in the last couple days. All right, so our subject coin for the week is going to be this 2021 Lincoln Shield cent. Here we are, 2021 as of this video. This is the date of coin that it is today. All right, this is a brand new coin with a lot of issues. All right, not quite 99 problems, but you know what I mean. This one right here has, the main feature is going to be this pretty crazy strike through right here, but it also has a number of feeder finger die scrapes in the fields here, which is just, this thing is crazy. But upon closer examination, there's the strike through. Yeah, these are out there, and quality at the mint still underwhelming right now. So you better take advantage of that. Some would say, well, the quality stinks, therefore it's not worth collecting the coins for 2020 and 21. I beg to differ. When the quality stinks, the errors go up. And because of that, people are making money hand over fist off of coins like this. This one here sold for $14.20. Yeah, it could have been, a lot easier just to say it sold for $14.20 before I even talked about this coin, and you guys will understand what's at stake. All right, we got a couple pieces of currency. We have a dollar bill Federal Reserve note here. It doesn't look like much. It is a brand new 2017, but where all the good stuff is on the back. We have a little bit of insufficient inking happening here. This is legitimate. I've seen my fair share of insufficient inking on the first, second, and third print of all of these dollar bills and 5s, 10s, and 20s to know what they look like. And this one is the real deal. This one right here sold for $40, all right, which is the going rate for things like this today. All right, so here's another one right here. This is a 1995 $1 Federal Reserve note. As you can see, there's a lot going on. I will tell you this, the sheet was misaligned before the third print was administered to the sheet, all right? So the third print, or like the serial number string and all that, is in the correct position, along with all the district seals. It's just that the sheet was off, all right? And that's why the first and second print, which you'll see here now, is way off, all right? It's not a cutting error. It's a sheet misalignment error when the third print was done on here. But this is a really cool note. Relatively new, sold for $289. Wow, that's a good sale. Something like this will probably end up in a graded holder one day. And here's a comparison of both notes, just so you can see exactly what's happening. The normal one at the bottom, and then the one with the misaligned sheet is at the top. All right, so here's another bargain Indian head cent. We got 1903, and this one has its issues. It's got some corrosion in certain areas on the reverse. You can see it here in the wreath, and then this little field area between the denticles and the wreath. You can see some of that. So it's not a high-end coin. It's not problem-free. But this one does have a really nice lamination thing happening here, or a defective planchet, which is essentially what a lamination is. But this one right here, probably a really quick, easy pickup for between 50 cents and $1. This one sold for $21.99. This is exactly what cherry pickers are looking for. Low-hanging fruit, stuff that dealers probably don't care about. Keep in mind, a lot of these coins, dealers won't buy. They're just way too minor, or they don't want to deal with the hassle of listing these coins separately on there. A lot of your interested buyers are online. So I wanted to say that right off the bat, that your buyers are online, which is, better because you have hundreds, if not thousands of respective clients at your fingertips. All right. When it comes to coins like this. $21.99 is a really good amount of money for this coin. All right, this one's cool. I mean, it's hard to believe that this coin circulated for as long as it did, but we have what is an undated Lincoln Memorial cent, and this one was actually struck through a later stage die cap. All right, so it's really cool. I mean, you begin to see a little bit of Lincoln in there. That die cap was pretty thin at this point. Speculatively, I'd say the date's like 1981. I mean, that looks like a 1 right there, and this is probably an 8. But this one right here sold for $49.99. These are always a cool find. I have a few of these myself, and they're just a lot of fun. When you do find them, they are a fun find. All right, so the next 2 coins on the list. All right, I want you guys to double check your silver. Not just specifically candy half dollars. This is a 90% 64, by the way. But look for little nuances, little errors, little varieties. There's a lot of double dies and RPMs for 64D, but this one right here has a really honest minor rim clip, as you can see right here. Again, I advise you don't take pictures in a 2x2 encasement. Take it out of there because these things are like 2 cents a piece. You're just going to get a lot better results that way. But speaking of results, this coin here is sold for what it would normally cost to get 5 or 6 candy half dollars. It's sold for $30.81, which is a nice flip. Can you imagine finding this out of your scrap silver that you had bought at the local coin shop? You found a clip, and you essentially turned that 90% silver half into 5 more. So if you look at it from that perspective, that's where the I guess the selling kind of proposition or motive comes into play, because it really is a nice way to enhance your collection. Just doing little things like this will enhance it that way. Same with this one. Here's another one, a 64. This is a Philadelphia. The previous coin was a Denver. This one right here, again, that rim clip right there at the K9, 9 o'clock position. Sold for $52.90, which was at 8-9 silver halves, 90%. So again, that narrative stays true. You find something like this, you go ahead and get rid of it, and then buy more silver. That's how it works. Here's a cool one. Originally, this was sold on eBay as being a off-center broad strike, but I think that this one is a partial tilted collar. And the reason why I say that is you can see kind of like that railroaded rim here, where you can't really see the edge, but you can tell it's there. This is a 2001 P North Carolina statehood quarter, straight out of circulation, man. This thing has seen quite a bit of action in the last 20 years of its life. This one sold for $18, which is just a tremendous amount of money for a well-circulated coin. Can't even really say that it's problem-free. It looks like from the obverse that it's been cleaned or polished or something like that. I don't know. But that's a nice return for something like this. All right, for you Buffalo Nickel hunters out there, this is another good one. I love looking for this repunchment mark variety, but it's a 36S. This is a common date. Even though it's a San Francisco mint, don't let it fool you. All right, these are out there for, 75 cents to $1 if you wanted to cherry pick one out of a dealer bin of sorts. But condition-wise, it's like a maybe high-end VG, maybe fine 12. It's got a partial horn right here. But what we're really looking for is that S over S. All right, so you can see the secondary S, the bottom loop there, the top serif right here on that top curl. This is a cherry picker's guide. It's the FS501 in case you're wondering. This one right here is sold for $28. That's a solid sale right there. These right here, I used to sell for like $8 to $12 a few years back because I was finding quite a few of them, and they're all kind of like in this particular condition range. 1995 Washington Quarter, unknown mint. We don't know if it's a Denver or Philadelphia, but this one does have a full date. It's a really off-center. The seller said 75%, and I intend to agree on that. This one right here does have a little bit of damage here on this side, but you can't argue with a coin in this condition. 95, full date. Really cool. Sold for $103.99. Really, really good looking coin. Again, full date on an off-center struck coin is key. All right, so we did find another 1920 and another just absolutely beat up example of this date. It even has a big old dent right here and a bunch of scrapes and just all sorts of stuff going on with this coin. Yeah, it would be easy to look at this and say, you know what, I'm tossing that puppy back. There is no way this coin is worth anything over 1 cent or 5 cents, if we're talking about bulk wheat cent rates. But yeah, guys, don't throw this back. To give you an idea, this one's sold for $32.26. I'm just laughing on the inside because it's like shooting fish in a barrel, guys. Taking candy from a baby. The money that's out there for some of the just most marginally acceptable coins is just crazy. It's so crazy. Now, this is a true testament that you could literally sell any sort of error regardless of its condition. I mean, and the thing would have to be like a buried coin with a lot of environmental damage for you to not see anything for it. But guys, come on. This is just, again, it's free money almost. All right, so it's cool every time one of these comes up. It's a 2004 D. So the Denver Minted coin's getting some love here. This is the Wisconsin State Quarter with the low leaf variety. All right, so there's a high leaf and a low leaf. Generally, these are found in the southern region of the U.S., most prominently Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, is where these coins were dropped when they were first released 17 years ago. Sold for $110, which seems like a lot of money considering you could buy a Mid-State 64 of this one coin for about $100 to $125. So, yeah, this is a very well circulated example here, but again, it's free money. If you find it, good luck, congratulations, you have won. All right, and the last coin. This is last coin on the list. This is a coin that we don't see that often here on the PCMR. Generally, we see them more on Canadian Lincoln cents or Canadian Lincoln cents, Canadian pennies more so than the U.S. Lincoln cents. But we have a 1959 Lincoln Memorial that was struck on an already split planchet. So this planchet had split apart like a clamshell, and it became two pieces. So it's half as thick. All right. So if you can imagine this coin being like half as thick as a normal Lincoln cent planchet, then this will be the results that you have here. You're going to find a lot of weakness on the reverse, all right, it's because the pressure doesn't quite go all the way through on the strike of this coin. And then you can see all the striations of where the splitting occurred on this side of the planchet. And then that's your end result coin after the strike. Yeah, these don't come up that often. I found maybe one in all the years, 25 years of hunting through wheat cents, and I've been through a lot. I go through about 50 to 100,000 wheat cents a year, and just oodles of various Lincoln cents. This is a tough one. But if you did find one, it's a good find. I would say this is more of a keep in your collection type find than actually flipping. It sold for $65, which is a good chunk of money. But would you rather have this, or would you rather have a tank of gas for that pickup truck in your driveway? I mean, it's really up to you, but it's a really cool find. Very rare that you find one of these out there. But that's going to do it, man. That was a great pocket change market report. I want to thank you guys for joining in on this one. Hopefully it gives you a little inspiration to go out there and look through your coins. Maybe go out to the bank, get some coin rolls. If you guys have like coin shops and shows open, things are starting to open up. Go out there and do some hunting because we have a lot of coins, guys. We had hundreds and thousands of dollars in coins out of these 28 coins that we talked about today. It's true money out there, and you don't need to grade them. That's the important part. I'm your host, Sean, again, with Blue Ridge. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit that bell if you haven't done so already. What are you waiting for? It's only been 10 years. Please, come and stay a while. Enjoy the water. It's very warm, and it's going to get even hotter. I guarantee it. You guys take care. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Best of luck in your hunting. Coinaholics, we are discovering together. So long.